Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I have a special guest, obviously. This is Bridget Nielsen.
Hey, Vic.
And we're going to share with you 5 things that every starseed should know. I have not talked about starseeds in a long time, but I have a lot to say about it. I just haven't really had the right video topic, I suppose, to express it. But I remember when I was sort of coming into the awareness of my own connection with like the extraterrestrials, as unusual as that might sound, I would be on YouTube and I found a lot of your videos, which were very helpful. So it's a real honor. She's much more of an expert in that domain than I am.
We're just all remembering.
Oh, she's being humble. No, thank you. So I'm going to kind of let Bridget take it away. You know, I had a whole other topic planned, and she busted out these notes she had about the Starseeds. I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be, I just knew that it just resonated with me. I felt like this is going to be a perfect message to share with my audience. And I'm thankful you came on, okay?
Thank you. Thanks,
Here, I'm going to
Vic.
pass you my little microphone.
I love it. Well, one of the first ways that we were talking about was to remember that you came here with everything you need to be here. Like, to do what you came to do. And we came here, like, with a certain mission in mind, especially as starseeds or as light workers, to help accelerate Earth, to remember who we are. And we have all of those capacities. It's just a matter of remembering and cultivating that aspect of us, which I think is very empowering. And it's important to remember that, like, we got this, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's one of the tips.
Okay, cool. I'll say something real quick. Yeah, I agree. And it can be probably hard because, like, for me, I had a lot of struggles growing up. I had, like, addiction problems and, just different challenges where it was maybe very easy to play the victim card and say, well, I might be a starseed, but that was obviously a mistake. What was I thinking? But like you said, I can look back and see even my challenges were part of everything I need to be who I am, and it really is. It's like perfect. It really is. I feel like we did a lot of wise planning on the other side prior to coming, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And those like experiences, those challenging experiences are like the exact catalyst we need to remember like our divinity and all of like the strengths we really do have. It's like harnessing and cultivating it on like the earth plane human incarnation level.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's really helpful so that we don't just feel like kind of like victims on the path. They're like, I don't know what to do, because it can get overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a helpful piece.
It's extremely helpful. Thank you. Yeah. Because that's the thing I think a lot of people deal with is like the frustrated with their choice to come here. Like maybe you even resonate with the fact that you chose to come here. Be like, why? I'm suffering. My life is collapsing.
Yeah.
But it's not helpful. It's not helpful to be in that sort of mindset of like, woe is me. It's more like dig into that starseed confidence that we all possess and like embrace, just go at it, and then you can surprise yourself.
Totally. And that reminds me kind of point 2 going into it, which is that we came here for a reason. Like, we consciously chose. You know, it's not like someone just like took you down from the stars and like chained you to Earth. It's like, good luck down there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is like we were higher dimensional beings that had all the confidence that's been through this like awakening before, and we're like, yeah, we can go down there, forget and remember. Like, we're that strong. And so I think that that's a really powerful remembrance as well, that it's like, wow, the level of resilience, and I think really tapping into, like you just said, like that starseed power of like what you have been before, and harness that kind of energy as challenges come up like in daily life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I see I feel like every soul, but maybe the starseed souls especially, if you want to look at it that way, like we're all very powerful souls, and I think anyone to come to Earth is like a badass. We're not like newbie souls, any of us, not just the starseeds. Everybody's here is like super powerful, and it's like, I would like that challenge. How would it be to go into this realm with all these big problems, totally forget the power, and like just have enough little like clues to help me wake up to that. I'm down. Let's try it out. It's like the master class, as Bashar says. Yeah. And I like that. I like the way you put that.
Yeah. So point number 3 is that most, I could say, starseeds are empaths or are sensitive in some way. Yeah. And so remembering that your empathic sensitivity is a total gift and a superpower. It's just a matter of harnessing it. And it is like part of the quality of the new humans we are awakening into, and like the new kind of beings that we will be in the future, which are telepathic, you know, which like feel, which are connecting in that way. And right now it might be weird and some people don't get it or don't feel it. But ultimately, like, if we can learn to develop it and cultivate it, it's going to really benefit us, like, in the long term as a humanity. So realizing that it really is a special gift, and thinking of it as a precious thing that you have that sensitivity.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, it's I know for me, if I would have heard that a long time ago, I would have been frustrated, because the way my sensitivity manifested was like anxiety.
Yes.
And like, just, I would always feel like very, just a lot of nerves always in my body. And I would look around at people and say, like, I could just feel like they're not feeling this. Why am I like struggling to maintain? But it's just, it was like sensory
Yes.
input overload, right? But and I see a lot of like people who are familiar with the empath term and maybe identify with it. They look at it like a curse,
Yeah.
the opposite of a blessing,
Yeah.
and they get frustrated. Why am I so sensitive? Why is the world so negative?
Yeah.
And you are sensitive, and the world is maybe negative in a sense, but you can use that.
Yeah.
You, once you get like a feel for it, you don't pick up people's energy so much anymore. You learn how to kind of hold your own and become really kind of psychic, just like really where you can tap into your higher consciousness very easily and make wise choices in life. So it's extremely powerful. And I'll give one quick example. Is when we were like looking for a house. Me and my wife at one point had like 3 houses we were gonna get, or we were like looking at, and there was 2 out of the 3 that we thought, you know what, any one of these we'd be happy.
Yeah.
But we pulled up, and the realtor was actually annoyed because I was like, nope. I could tell it just didn't have the have the vibe. I said, there's no way I can live there.
Right.
And the third one wasn't like cute dog. It wasn't like what I would have visually ever expected, but the vibe was so like, yes, inviting and perfect, that I might have made more of a logical wrong move had I not had this cursed empathy.
Yeah.
So it was helpful in that as well as many other circumstances.
Definitely. Yeah, and it gives us also the ability, like, once we learn to harness it, to like tap into like our multidimensional nature, many things at once, to hold many perspectives at once, which is so helpful. Like, you could be in a challenging situation where someone's like annoyed or something, but then at the same time you can be perceiving like the very thing that they may need, and so you can use the empathy to make the kind of like life better for them and you, and like help different dynamics. So
Yeah.
I think it's just important to know that it's like it's an upgrade to like the human vehicle that we got.
Yes.
And it's just like, okay, now how do we use it?
That's what it is. It's just an adjustment period, right?
Right.
It's like you get a brand new, I didn't know how to drive when I was a teenager, but it was an upgrade from riding a bicycle.
Right.
Once I learned, boy, was I happy, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so the fourth tip is that it's actually harder not to be in your body. So, so the idea is like oftentimes, like with Starseeds, with myself included, in these moments of like, say, anxiety or high sensitivity, or it's challenging being on Earth, or these kinds of energies, that there's this part of our energy which like leaves, right? Our like astral body leaves, not just like at night, but like during the day. It's like we're not in our bodies, the feeling of being ungrounded, right? And I find that it's much better. Like it actually feels a lot better, and the anxiety can go down, and we can harness like our abilities if we come back in and ground, and we really actually connect with the energy of Earth, and we are in our vehicle, so that other energies kind of don't come in, and we are we're empowered to take full, I guess, control or flow with life.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's interesting because, this, as you put it just to the camera now, it's something that happens to my wife a lot, and she would always say that, when things get intense, she's always like, she has this thing she does to kind of like tap herself back into her body.
Yeah.
And she says it just makes her very ungrounded a lot. It doesn't happen to me all that often. That's why I was like a little bit like, I was like trying to follow what you meant, but now I know exactly what you meant, and you're right. So it's not.
You kind of stay in your body, like, cause you exercise, like you're a physical
kind of an earthly guy in a way. Yeah.
But I think that really helps.
It does help. Yeah. But a lot of people aren't like that.
Yeah.
And that's why it's good to have you come on, because I might not have ever given that piece of advice.
Right.
Yeah. And there's also another element I think we were talking about where you mentioned like a lot of starseeds, they want to like they don't want to be in their body. They don't want to be here at all. They kind of like resist the earth experience.
Yeah.
And I had an experience I was going to share. I was like trying to think for a second. I had a QHT session a while back, and I went through all these different past lives. Take that for what you will. I did, and I had a very impressive healing episode. But the last life was like an ET life, and I went back to it, and it was so beautiful and loving. And it did, when I came back, I felt very homesick. I felt like, I don't want to be here. Screw this.
Yeah.
That was so much better.
Yeah.
And I realized that, you know what? That might be the case, but it's maybe not good to go off there too often, because it makes me like not grateful for what I do have.
Yeah.
It makes me not in my body, not in my like life. And it's sort of like, it's like you said before, I chose to come here.
Yeah.
I was there maybe at some point, and that's fine. I'll go back hopefully.
Yeah.
But right now I'm here, and I realized when I embraced just the earth game, just my body, my life, that I found real happiness here.
Yes.
And it's possible, even though at times it can seem wise to escape in the way you mentioned, you know?
Right. I love that. And I think it's like those moments where you had that regression and like felt that like degree of like love and oneness and
Yes.
frequency. It's like that is ultimately what we're supposed to do, is bring that, you know, like the heaven on earth and ground that into this plane and into humanity's collective. Like that's what we're here to do.
Precisely. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So
yeah.
that's just the other half, right, is grounding it back down to earth.
Yeah.
And so we have to do that like literally like through our own bodies, bringing that frequency to the ground and in our interactions with other people. And so it's just part of what we're doing. And I think that it's actually feels really good, you know. And
it does, yeah. For a while, I don't know about you, I felt like I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Why'd I come? It was when I started bringing that into my work and like helping people and kind of getting
Yeah.
on my mission, that I said, okay, now I know that makes sense why I would have come here, because it feels good to do this. It's beautiful.
that's a good point. That's like the service element.
Yeah.
Which is like what you're all about. And I think that's like keeps us on track, because it can get overwhelming, right? Like life.
Right,
And like
yeah.
sensitivity, where it can kind of be, like for me, it can become about like, say, me, or just kind of like survival mode.
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then in that space, which is what keeps me going as well, is like, okay, well, I'm here to serve. Like, so I can't just be thinking about me. Let's like get myself together and then like be able to assist, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the service is something that redirects me.
Me too, for
towards that.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I can get like concerned about myself, my
Yeah.
own needs, my own survival. Am I okay here?
Yeah.
In fact, I have a retreat coming up in tomorrow actually, and we were talking, because she does retreats too, and we were saying how refreshing it is to like be with the people.
Yeah.
Because it's like it makes life, my perspective on life so much more like balanced, and my
Yes.
priorities in harmony with like what's actually important.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I love that. That was like a little bonus.
Yeah, I kind of went off there for a
No,
moment.
it was great, because it
Yeah.
like brought in that service element, which is like, okay, so when we're in these moments of whatever it is, anxiety or not wanting to be here, the certain energies, it's like, well, then what reorients us to the mission? Service.
Right. Yes.
You know? So, and that's like very high concept with like our higher dimensional aspects. Like that is what those civilizations are run by, is like a service to others orientation.
Yeah.
And so I think that reorients us on like a higher level.
Yeah, and it also brings about that feeling of completion, where at least for me, I don't feel homesick anymore. I don't
Yeah.
need to try to leave my body. I'm like, I feel complete when I'm in that element of service. You know.
Yeah, totally. Point number 5 is to focus on positivity and the light,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Which is where we come from, which
Yeah.
is like the energy we're bringing. And so that, like, what lights you up, and stay focused on that, because like so much of the other energy, because we're sensitive, we can like kind of fall into these other, you know, poles or whatnot. And so it's like, okay, what is your passion, which you're like so big on? Like, what is your passion? What lights you up? And then I think also like support, like how can you be in an environment that's very supportive? And then I think another big part is making sure that you have like positive people around you, like, because it can often be lonely on the path, but there's so many amazing like-minded people, and to like find those people and have it be this like thrive space,
Yes.
you know, in your life.
Right,
So all
right.
that positivity and good energy.
Yeah, for sure. And like we were talking before about being so sensitive to everything, it's like, and right now we're living in a world with a mixed bag of vibrations, in all expressions, people, music, food, like everything.
Yeah.
And we can really experience deep levels of negativity if we choose to focus upon that. And it can be a matter of like discipline to focus on the light, to focus on the positivity, to focus on your passion. But when you really master and hone your that get good and skilled at focusing on what elevates you, then your life can become awesome. You can really just expand and feel like high levels of love, high levels of bliss sometimes, and just satisfaction. So I think that's a huge thing. And what she was saying, I think a good way to start for people who don't really, because some people, you probably know, they're right now, at least for me, when I started waking up, I didn't have a lot of positive people in my life. So it was harder. I really had to focus to see the positivity in things. But I did. I would read books that would resonate with me, and I would watch YouTube videos, wink wink, and I would just do things that made me feel good inside. And over time that built up and has become more of a dominant. I have more positive things in my life where it's not so hard anymore. But that's the key. It's like we have the sensitivity, the empathy, and now it's a matter of focusing on what really works for us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Did you want to add
Focus
anything
on
else?
the light.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you. Listen, how can people find you, Bridget?
Just my YouTube channel. So youtube.com/Bridget Nielsen.
Okay.
Good luck on the spelling.
I'll leave links below, guys. Links in the description box where you can find out her. She has a nice website and her and the YouTube channel and stuff. I'll leave all of her information. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks
on.
so much,
It was
Vic.
amazing. Yes.
So happy for your retreat in Sedona. And for
Thank you.
being
Yes, she inspired me to do retreats. Well, I came to Sedona, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing these retreats. And she's like, you should do it. You kind of looked at me and were like, you're very encouraging. And I was like, you know what? I left Sedona like, I'm going to do it.
And now you have
And now I have one tomorrow here in
Yeah,
Sedona.
You're on it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
on it. Yeah.
I
So
love
thank you. You were a big part of that. In fact, she
Aw.
helped me plan a lot of this, just so if you guys don't know. So thank you.
You're so welcome.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
the one that executed and went for it. So I'm so excited for everyone to experience it.
Awesome. Okay, my friends, thank you again for listening. I wish you all nothing but the best, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly had fun making it. Thank you again, Bridget.
Thanks, Vic.
Yep. Have an amazing day. Peace.